Agents Across the Miles with Linda Baker and Heather Roda.
Hi, I'm Linda Baker with Milestone Realty in San Jose, California.
Hey Linda, it's Heather Roda here with Platinum Properties and the Roda team, and I'm in Paso Robles, California, serving all.
Awesome. And so let's start. Who's moving to the Paso area and why are they coming there?
So most of our incoming buyers from out of the area are coming from your area, the Bay Area, all of the Bay Area.
You're welcome.
And that would be our number one region that they're coming from. And we also get Southern California. So of course we get from all over the place for various reasons, but heavily the Bay Area and Southern California.
So why do you think they're moving to Paso?
Well, you already mentioned it, the wine. We have the best wine. And all of San Luis Obispo County. We have wine in San Luis Obispo as well, but there are 400 wineries in Paso Robles and only 30,000 people. So they're moving here for the wine to person ratio. And it really is both of those things that a lot of the buyers discover our area through wine tasting or through the small beach towns that are part of our communities. And
Well,
they love the small town feel as well, and the more peaceful, slower pace of life than the big city.
yeah, we are definitely the big city. We definitely still see the influx of people, mostly coming here for the technology jobs. So really that's been our continued bread and butter. And even though you hear about layoffs, we still see people coming to the area.
Yeah. And a lot of the buyers that are from the Bay Area are part of the tech community and world, and that is their employment. And we're seeing more and more able to work from home. Ever since the COVID shutdowns, we've had a steady increase of buyers that are looking at our area because maybe they have to be at work, one day out of the week or one day out of the month, and it's just a 3 to 4 hour drive depending on the part of the Bay Area that they're in.
Okay, so people come to your area, but people also leave. Who do you see, leaving the area?
Yeah, and it's interesting with both our buyers that are moving into the area and sellers that are moving out of the area. A lot of them are around retirement age. We see some pre-planning of buyers moving to the area where they're not quite ready to retire, and maybe they buy something that they can short-term rent and visit while they're working towards retirement, or they've just become empty nesters. And then we see that same thing with our outgoing movement. People that are looking to buy in a less expensive state is usually the number one reason. And sometimes families go to, but a lot of them are retiring or they've just become empty nesters and they want to take their California money to Tennessee or Oklahoma or Florida or one of the more affordable states. Just like the people that are coming from the Bay Area and Southern California are moving to the Central Coast because we also have lower prices here. It's a lot more affordable than.
Well, you also have a very high demand university in Cal Poly.
Yes.
Do you get a lot of parents buying in that community for their kids to offset the room and board?
Yeah, we do see that here and there. It makes more sense for most parents to collect the rents rather than pay the rents, since it might be $1,500 for half a room near the college in San Luis Obispo for rent.
Listening to you, I also hear a lot of the same reasons that people come and go from the San Jose area. People are oftentimes leaving because they're going to a more affordable area. They're going to be closer to their children, their family. I still have a lot of older people who have stayed put because their family is still here. It's a generational thing.
It is. It's definitely a generational thing. And I do occasionally represent professors. Last year, we had an engineering professor move from Portland to Atascadero. He bought a house in Atascadero, which is just a 20-minute drive for him to the university. Since here, when we look at the areas that I sell are pretty spread out, there's these little 30,000 person towns, and there's several of them. And you look at the college on the map, and Atascadero might look pretty far away. But when you hit the 101 here, it's a mile a minute almost every time. We don't have traffic.
Describe to me what kind of homes your buyers are looking for. What's the style homes? What, newer, older, single story, multi-story?
Yeah, we're working with local buyers. Obviously, it's different, but the buyers that are coming from other areas, the most common price point is definitely going to be over $1 million. A lot of times we talk it through with buyers that are thinking that maybe they could be more around our median price, which is $880. But for $880, you're going to get an 1,800 square foot nice tract house, and most of the buyers that are moving here, you can see my vineyard view behind me. They want that. They want the vineyard view, the country feel, a little bit more space, usually a little bit larger home, especially if they are going to be working from home. They need the bedrooms and the bathrooms and the office space. So they're usually going to be more around a 1.2 price point so that they can, get an acre and get something with, 2,500 square feet and nice upgrades. That's going to be the most common. We get some buyers that want to live more out in the country and some buyers that want to live more in town for the walkability. We have great restaurants, even Michelin stars here in our little community. So I never thought I'd see that growing up here. It's amazing how much it's changed. But some people want the walkability to town, and some people come to us and they have big dreams of 20 acres or 50 acres, but usually once we get out and see 5 acres, they're like, whoa, this is huge. So a lot of times it's a learning process to figure out what that amount of space really feels like, what it takes to take care of it, learning about things like wells and septic tanks from us so that they know what to expect with that.
It's funny when you start talking about septic and wells, how people go, oh, is that normal?
Yeah. It's very common around here. Even sometimes in town, we'll have septic tanks instead of sewer systems.
Oh, even in town?
Yeah, so we have our, our little 2-minute rattle off, this is what it is, this is how you take care of it. And then of course we analyze all the reports and whatnot with the clients as they purchase. And
of
it's
course,
not as scary as it sounds.
Of course. Well, and it's interesting because compare that to what my clients are looking for here. I'm working with first-time buyers who are looking at about $1.5 million.
Yeah.
As a first-time buyer, and that's going to get them a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, and we're fighting against. Today I'm fighting probably against at least 10 other buyers looking for the same house. Yeah,
where the 1,500 square foot 3-2 here, it depends on what part of here you're in, but 700s probably here in the North County. And then it gets a lot more expensive in the beach communities, of course. I have a new listing in Los Osos that is going to be coming on the market for $750. And it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow that is in need of love and updates. The seller's putting in new luxury vinyl plank to get a start to it and a fresh feel.
Good job.
It definitely varies. The closer that you get to the ocean, the higher the prices go.
It's location, it's lifestyle, and it's livability. Those are the drivers of your prices.
Yeah.
So we've kind of sort of touched on the median prices. We've kind of sorted around. So your median price is $880. Our median price is $1.7 million. The median.
Wow. Yeah. More than twice ours. Yeah. And when I run the stats here, I run the whole county, because you need that entire amount of data for the line of the graph to actually make sense. If you go town by town here, there's such few sales. You have a few big ranches that sell, and it's like a zigzag. So it
just excuses it.
Yeah, but then at the end of the year, we run each town for the whole year for how it was year over year for median price. And we have a relocation guide for our buyers that are moving into the area that gives them the breakdown of all of that and the breakdown of the weather and what there is for shopping and all that good stuff here too.
Hold that weather thought for just a second, because I have a question. Does your median price, is it single family homes only, or are you including condos and townhouses?
Condos and townhouses.
Okay, yes. So it's interesting. So the 1,700,000 for me is single family homes because that's really what we sell more of here.
Yeah.
But if I do the median price with including condos and townhouses, it drops to 1,400,000.
Aha. Okay. So it is.
But it's interesting though, because for Silicon Valley, it really depends on the area and the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I live in Almaden and San Jose, and this is a, more affluent area. I'm on a 12,000 square foot lot. The average lot size in Almaden is probably, I'd say, at least 10,000 square feet. Where you go closer to town, our more historic areas tend to be about, I'd say, 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. So, and then you get Los Altos Hills, which are an acre minimum. So it really does vary.
Yeah. Yeah. And the same
Yeah,
here.
in town.
I think the difference is we probably have a lot of acreage properties here that you're not seeing as much of there. Like the
Absolutely.
We
we do have some in the South County, at Morgan Hill and Gilroy.
Yeah.
But those are still more on the outskirts as opposed to high demand area. For my visits down to Paso, I think that our weather is really pretty similar. I mean, today we're going to have rain this afternoon. And and our climate's very Mediterranean. We get 4 seasons, but they're, the summers are hot, but not horribly hot. They're usually pretty like average in the 80s. And our winters are, quite frankly, maybe in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, I would definitely describe our weather as very Mediterranean. Yeah, so we definitely have microclimates here. We have a coastal mountain range in between our North County and our South County. And it does hit a height of about 2,500 feet. And then when you drop down into the North County, you're sitting at about 800 feet elevation for most properties. And you have that barrier from the coastal weather. So the fog still creeps up over it, but it might be freezing in the North County, Paso Robles, Atascadero, and the surrounding little towns, where in San Luis Obispo and Cayucas and the other little beach towns, it's definitely much more coastal and moderate. Doesn't get quite as hot, doesn't freeze. Yeah.
Well, so what's interesting about our weather is that we're in a valley, Santa Clara Valley, and the east foothills and the east part of San Jose is much hotter, and it feels much hotter to me because the west side tends to have more trees.
Yeah.
And just going like from Willow Glen, which is like a very tree dense, mature trees, to other parts of San Jose, which may have fewer trees, you can feel the temperature difference on the same day. And I know we've got a lot of things to do, but what are the top activities that people like to do around your area?
Yeah, we do. And, I've been here since the 70s. I grew up here, and that was always the biggest complaint when we were younger was there's no entertainment, shopping, all that kind of stuff. And now there is. I mean, we still don't have some of the big brand names here, but we have a lot of great little boutiques for shopping. The wine is obviously the number one draw, and most of us locals enjoy that just as much as the tourists. We also have the Vina Robles Amphitheater in San Luis. There are some theaters that attract. We actually went to a comedy show a couple of weeks ago down in SLO, and we didn't have much of that going on. There's the Performing Arts Center at Cal Poly. There are some fun things to enjoy at the Performing Arts Center. There are so many amazing hiking trails. There's the beaches, a lot of nature here. People that love to hike, bike, or just even enjoy their walks love all of the nature and activities that we have here. And of course, there's all kinds of touristy things to do surrounding the nature. So you can go ATV riding or horseback riding or take surf lessons or any of that adventure.
I can definitely see why people from the Bay Area are going down to the Paso SLO area, because so many of the activities are the same. We've got we have wineries here. Some of our wineries in the South County, Morgan Hill, Gilroy, are doing concerts on the weekends to attract people. San Jose has always been I call stepsister of San Francisco. It's like, oh, San Francisco's got the culture and the museums. It's like, excuse me, wait, pardon me. But, we actually do have museums down here, and we do get We've got the Improv, the comedy, the comedy store here, and we've got, we get national tours, and we've got major concerts here. I mean, we've got some amazing concert venues too, with the Mountain Winery and the Shoreline Amphitheater. It's we get major tours here. Yeah. And it's amazing how much there is to do here if you really want to get out, and especially our restaurants. And we have little towns in Silicon Valley. We got Campbell and Willow Glen and Los Gatos and Saratoga and Mountain View, and those little downtowns create a wonderful ambiance that makes it feel like you're not in a big city.
Yeah. It's a similar lifestyle here. I think that the two biggest reasons that people are drawn to here is because of the lower prices and the lesser amount of traffic and people. But I have heard people say that they miss the culture, because we definitely don't have a lot to offer when it comes to that. Not that we have nothing going on, but compared to what you guys have going on up there, it is a lot more minimal. So the best thing that we have to offer as far as culture and art and that kind of thing is our proximity to you and to Southern California. Atascadero, which is just 15 minutes south of Paso Robles and 15 minutes north of San Luis Obispo, is the center spot between LA and San Francisco. So the first Tesla charging station was put there, the first one in California. So it literally is the halfway point between Southern Cal and Northern Cal.
So we've talked about lifestyle there, which is amazing. How has the real estate market been? Everyone I'm talking to around the country is talking about low inventory and multiple offers. How is your market right now?
Yeah. It sounds like you are kind of getting back to multiple offers. You're talking about the one you're just working on now, and we're starting to see some of that too. And for buyers that are interested in moving here, thinking about moving here, we have that relocation guide, and we also have our YouTube channel, and we post a market update there at least once per quarter. So we dig through all the stats every month so that we know exactly what we're looking at. But we are starting to see multiple offers again, only if the property is priced right. Properties buyers are pretty price sensitive. It's interesting. If something is priced just a little too high, they don't even want to see it, because the assumption has become, I have to pay that price because everything sells for the asking price. And they don't even want to see it. So it's like a tale of two listings. The listing that's priced right gets an immediate offer and there's only 3 days on the market, and a listing that's priced over needs a price reduction after a few weeks just to get showings and has longer days on the market. So usually the listings fall into one or the other category here. But yeah, our median days on market is 13. Our inventory, we actually have about 5 months of inventory, but it's just such a small number of sales that doesn't represent a lot of houses. We're only selling about 200 single family homes in the entire county per month right now. So the number of sales is way down. And then median price, our highest median price during the surge was May of 2022. We were at $869. Was our highest price. And then we started to dip down after May of 22. We got all the way down to $750. And then just in the past 5 months, it snapped back and pushed us up into that $880. So prices are higher here than they have ever been. Does that trend with what you're hearing around the country?
Yeah, prices are solid around the country. Mm-hmm. Our prices are just under where we were at the very peak from like March of 2022, which was, that's when the interest rates were at 3%.
Yeah.
So our prices are just like literally just under that. Yeah. But what's interesting about the differences in the marketplace is that here we tend to, in general, let the house be exposed to the market. So we will have it open over the weekend. Well, it'll come on anytime during the week, and then we usually set an offer date. If it's priced, again, like you, buyers are very price sensitive. They know what they've seen. They know the market sometimes better than we do in terms of how things have been selling. But it's frustrating for buyers when something sells like in a day. And I was just talking to another agent here locally yesterday, and he's like, well, why would you? I've got 2 offers in hand. I'm waiting until I have all my other offers come in so I can make sure that my clients are truly getting the best market price.
Yeah. And once again, you guys are the trendsetters up there. And that is how I handle my business with my sellers. I recommend to them to pre-market it coming soon, wait and show it, collect all offers, offer review date. Not every seller wants to do that, and it is their house. And so most of my sellers do it that way, but there are a lot of agents that don't handle it that way and present offers as they come in. And so for buyers, it is frustrating. We do recommend to our buyers that if you're looking here and you see something that you like, you might have to get here that day.
So how is your cost of living down there? I mean, you're so close to agricultural areas. I'm imagining that your cost of food, your utilities are really pretty low. I mean, the cost is high, but you're not using as much just because of your temperate climate. You've got the proximity to local fresh foods.
Yeah, we do have a lot of access to fresh local foods, although those usually come at more of a premium. But we have a lot of like corner farm stands where you can stop and pick up, and some that are a little more organized. And like even Cal Poly has their they call it Cal Poly meats, but you can buy meats and eggs and cheese and produce and all kinds of stuff. And our tax rate is like 8% for sales tax. Out in the county, it's 1% of your value at the time of purchase for real estate tax, and then it goes up to about 135 inside the city limits of most of our.
Oh, and you've got some great, amazing local wineries, and yeah. So why would I? Well, I'm not paying $100 for a bottle of wine. just saying, not going to do it.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to wrapping up. So my last 2 questions we'll tie together, which is, what's your favorite thing about living down in the Paso area, and what's your least favorite thing?
Yeah, the people and the lifestyle. People are generally more relaxed here than they are in the cities, more friendly. And because I grew up here, I go to the grocery store, I always see like 8 people that I know. I love that. And I love all the activities that we have to do. There's a lot to love here. My least favorite thing is actually the winters. I moved away one time from this area, and it was to Hawaii. I love warm weather. I do not like the freeze at night. The hardest thing was that lack of entertainment, lack of shopping, lack of choices for restaurants, and that has changed so much now.
And it's funny because people complain about the big city, but like I happen to live where I've got a giant hill in my backyard, and I feel like I'm on the edge of the city. I'm not in the middle of the city. So I love the fact that with Santa Clara Valley, which was started as an agricultural basket, basically. Yeah. When I was growing up, back in the olden days, we had the canneries, and we had major farms, and you would walk by orchards, and the fresh fruit that we have here is amazing. We have a little tiny farmer that is next to a highway, and the fruit they sell is absolutely amazing. It's I love that. I love the diversity of the area, because with diversity you get the different cultures and different activities and all that stuff. I like the proximity to things like you were talking about. I love to be able to, if we wanted to go see a Broadway show in San Francisco, we could, but I can just wait for it to come to San Jose, which I actually prefer.
Yeah.
So we've got so many things that we can do here, activities, all kinds of stuff, and my least favorite thing, because, I like the 4 seasons. So I have beautiful sweaters I love to wear. So I like a little bit of coolness in the air. The traffic tends to be a bit of a, challenge. I do try to time my day around where I'm going to be and what time and how the freeways are going to be impacted at that point. So I definitely do that. And, and not knock on wood, we don't have any new, earthquakes, because California,
Yeah.
rim of fire. Well, Heather, as always, I want to say thank you. You're definitely one of my referral partners that I love to send clients down to, and I really appreciate you taking this time to share, what's going on in Paso Robles.
Yeah, and as are you. I love that we have a San Jose expert at our fingertips. So
We
thank
do
you.
we do try.
Yeah, and thank you for setting this up.
Awesome. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.